Sunday night starts in the Cincinnati Metro and the city of Highland Heights, Kentucky. We raise the curtain on our Sunday slate in MLS Next Pro's Match Week 24. FC Cincinnati 2, trying to stay alive in the playoff hunt, welcomes Connecticut United, looking to get back to their winning ways. Welcome inside MKU Soccer Stadium alongside our broadcast team, Jake Griffin. Glad to have you alongside us. Cincinnati, they could be eliminated from playoff contention with a loss today. They would also have a little bit of help around the league. Meanwhile, Connecticut United licking its wounds, coming in off a loss against New England Revolution, but they've been hot as of late, having taken 26 of the last possible 36 points. A chance to look at how these sides line up as we open our show. First for FC Cincinnati 2 and manager Semi Castellanos. It is a 4-4-2 at times. Might look like a 4-4-1-1 when they stack Shehu Niang and Stefan Chirilla there at that twin striker approach. 3 personnel changes in this grouping, including the return at the left back spot of Andre Chirilla. The CT United side, they're going to have to deal with Connecticut United's direct play, rather being FC Cincinnati dealing with Connecticut United's direct play. And one good way to take that directness away from the Coy Wolves, you're going to want to drop your line deeper. So keep an eye on that back four, how deep they play. Staying compact today will be crucial for Castellanos' team. In his own words, he said they did not deal with that directness all that well in the prior 2 meetings against CT United, who under Shavar Thomas, the former FC Cincinnati 2 assistant coach, they go with a 4-3-3. Just one personnel change in this first 11 on the pitch for the Coy Wolves. Robbie Mora will anchor the center of the midfield. And that midfield, that front three, how they work in conjunction with one another will be key. In that loss against New England Revolution, Shavar Thomas said they did not have that workmanlike approach. The game was dictated to them. One thing he picked out from the prior 2 meetings against FC Cincinnati 2, the front three plus Dylan Lacey, how he joins in overlapping runs on the left-hand side. They really pressured the back line of FC Cincinnati 2, especially in that 4-0 win they handed the Garys the last time these sides squared off. All set to go here on this Sunday evening in Highland Heights, Kentucky. Connecticut United, despite the loss to New England Revolution 2, prior to that, it was 4 consecutive victories in their last 5 matches overall, closing in on potentially setting a new MLS Next Pro record for wins recorded by an independent team in their inaugural season. Carolina Core FC in their debut campaign back in 2024. They won 12 matches. CT United right now hanging in there with 10 victories, and they're right on the cusp of playoff qualification as we are getting deeper and deeper into the campaign. Meanwhile, FC Cincinnati 2, a loss today plus an NYCFC shootout win or a Philadelphia Union win outright would sink their chances of qualifying for their 3rd straight MLS Next Pro playoffs. It's FC Cincinnati 2 in the all-white, Connecticut United in the all-black. Salvador Flores is our center referee. We are all set to go here on the campus of Northern Kentucky. There is the whistle, thumped all the way down by FC Cincinnati 2, and we are underway. Castellanos' side giving themselves a chance to get their defense set off the opening kick. It is a defense that has had a penchant for giving up a number of goals this year, 45 to be exact on the season. They're just 2 matches. That ball will go ricocheting out of play, removed from conceding 7 goals against Chicago Fire 2. They followed that up with the narrow 2-1 loss on the road against Philadelphia Union 2, as it's cut back over to Fabian Morozic, the 6'3" native of Poland, who makes his 12th start of the campaign. And Semi Castellanos, when we caught up earlier in the week, he reflected back on that match against Philadelphia Union. He said, really, it stems from the game before. They got punched in the face, in the words of Castellanos, against Chicago Fire. Felt like his team was a bit taken aback by the amount of first-team players on the field for Markovic's side, Chicago Fire 2. Inch their way above would be the playoff cut line. Currently in 6th position in the Eastern Conference. Niang looking to hold play up. We get a delayed whistle, but a whistle nonetheless, and FC Cincinnati 2 will get a free kick out of all of that. Building from the back is FC Cincinnati 2, inviting some of this pressure from Connecticut United. One thing that Shavar Thomas said, he felt like against New England Revolution, his team got a little bit away from. And that game got stretched out. New England was really able to take advantage. Thomas challenging this Coy Wolves side today. Come in, just hit the reset button. Have that hard-working, workman-like approach that they've had so much over these last few weeks. Long direct ball forward from FC Cincinnati 2. Repossessed by Connecticut, clipped forward. As Mora will try to turn on that one, and it's intercepted by the Garys. Returning the favor, though, is Dylan Lacey. Rolled out wide now. Here is Connecticut United, swung in. Our assistant referee waving that flag over on the touchline. And it looked like that ball might have deflected off of the hand of the FC Cincinnati defender. That is in fact the case according to Salvador Flores, and that means the Coy Wolves will have a free kick, albeit from a very awkward angle. Deep over in that far corner as Lacey will hover over top of it. Two free kick goals this year for Connecticut United. Dylan Lacey and company trying to make it a third. Lacey drives this across the face of goal, knotted down. Not deep enough for a clearance, and back goes Steven Serwada to collect. He'll float this in. Out comes Morozic with the punch. Starting strong, starting fast, a theme of the conversation in the midweek with Shavar Thomas. Safe to say, his team took those words to heart earlier in the week. A strong start here out of the gates for Connecticut United. Really asking the questions early on. That ball, though, forward gets caught in the wind, and FC Cincinnati will be the beneficiaries of it. Back to Sammy Castellanos. He reflected on that Philadelphia Union loss, the 2-1 defeat at Subaru Park last match week. He did say that even though the scoreline was not in their favor, he felt like FC Cincinnati had the better of play in that contest. And he said it was a real learning moment for his team. He went to the locker room after the game and he told them that the message was, look, we were progressively better than what we saw the week prior against Chicago Fire. But sometimes that's just how things go in MLS Next Pro. You can be the better team and not get the result. Called it a learning experience for his young team. Again, they'll fling this one along, trying to pick out their big striker, Shewoo Niang, the April 2026 acquisition, 6'6", for the former Senegal U20 national team camp call-up. He's grabbed 5 goals this year, including in back-to-back appearances in MLS Next Pro. The Coy Wolves captain trying to close down that space on Felix Sampson. Both captains going in on each other there. Here is Morozic, the March acquisition acquired via loan from Liverpool, the English Premier League. Again, FC Cincinnati electing to go long. It's knotted back over to Rankenberg. line Connecticut United goes. That will spill out of play. FC Cincinnati will have the throw, and now we get more whistles. Pressure applied on Andre Chirilla, making his return for the first time since July 26th. The FC Cincinnati homegrown, 6 MLS appearances this year. While there were no FC Cincinnati 2 players on the bench last time in MLS action against Orlando City, Andre Chirilla was on the bench back on August 1st in the 4-2 win against San Jose Earthquakes. Here is Stefan Chirilla playing it through. Running on to it is Daver Mosquera, but can't corral it in time, and it will be a Gunther Rankenberg goal kick. The former Greenville Triumph netminder and native of Georgia, Gunther Rankenberg, making his 16th appearance. He's made as many starts in net this year. Niang will volley that one out wide off the head. Omar Chavez returned from his knock against Chicago Fire a handful of matches ago for this FC Cincinnati 2 side. Had it in his possession for a moment. Ultimately, it does go to rest out of play for a Connecticut United throw-in. Chirilla lost his footing. The pass from Mosquera was behind him nonetheless. Lacey goes tumbling down and stays down, grabbing at his left leg. It does draw a whistle from Salvador Flores. Dylan Lacey, worse for wear on that collision. Right there in the center of your screen. Lacey back to his feet. Has a goal to his credit against FC Cincinnati this season across 180 minutes of football. Lobbed in behind. Applewhite will track that down. Tries to send the service in. Instead, it goes sailing out of play. Floated along. Yang able to successfully hold things up. Trying to change the point of the attack was Stefan Chirilla. Spire comes up with it, and now here's Mosquera again. Mosquera has his pocket picked. Applewhite ahead to Polito on the half turn, trying to feed Barnabas Tanyi. Telegraphed pass though, and swiping over to clean that up was FC Cincinnati 2. Chirilla tries to slip it ahead. The offside flag will come up. Niang just on the other side of that restraining line. And CT United wasting no time restarting play here. Back to Michael Boma. Almost 800 minutes played along that back line for Connecticut United. Over these last few weeks, they've made small tweaks and tinkered ever so slightly with the 11, as referenced in the just one personnel change today. But for the most part, it's been consistent faces for Shavar Thomas. That consistency, that chemistry is something he's really been adamant about. Started out the year with very high and lofty expectations for the CT United side. Organizationally, they have said from day one, they want to be the last team standing in their inaugural campaign. So we get a whistle against DiPolito. Jamar Thomas and his coaching staff, they believe one of the best ways to be that last team standing is sort of that mentality of if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? They've had so much success these last few weeks. No need to make any drastic changes. Booming ball forward on the restart by FC Cincinnati 2. One thing that has long been evident this season for FC Cincinnati, when in possession, really truly is a back three build. The counter quickly on here. Rolled ahead at the end line, scooped back in. Tanyi was the target. Clearance falls back to the feet of Sirwada. Headed back along once more by the Koi Wolves. It falls to Robbie Mora. Trying to carve an opening here. Sirwada, the 1-2, back wide at the end line again. Falls out of play. And that will draw a whistle. He drops in, trying to help link play. Niang toppled there. It will be a whistle as well as our first booking of the evening. A card shown to Michael Boma for this foul here, right in the center of your screen at the last moment, just grabbing a hold of Shewo Niang and dragging him down. This portion of the match is brought to you by First Financial Bank, official bank of FC Cincinnati. Now your Ramos will shadow over this and will touch things up to resume play off the foul. Andre Chirilla switches it out wide to Chavez. Able to corral that ball in, now rolled forward. Good interchange here by FC Cincinnati too. Laterally, Sampson, and now forward, Stefan Chirilla. Laid back off to him, knocked wide, running onto it, trying to put it to a goal. But deflected out of play by Connecticut United, and it will be a corner, first of the day, for FC Cincinnati too. Some real intentionality for the Garys when getting into this final third. His ball movement has been crisp. Good recovery at the last moment. You saw the reaction from Niang. Felt like he had a break in on his defender and crashing the keeper. They just couldn't get it to him. And it will be Stefan Chirilla set to service this in from the far corner. 9 goal involvements this year. In swinging ball, curled toward goal, headed down but not clear. Now Dylan Lacey will do the honors there. Retreating is Felix Sampson, Connecticut native. Back down by CT United. Mora with it. Going to dislodge that ball, turning and rolling it in behind. Here's Lacey on the other end of it. Lacey at the end line. Service across. It falls all the way through. Touch there from Shewo Niang. Wanting the whistle, felt like that ball rolled across the touchline. It did not. Hawks defense, specifically Andre Chirilla coming up crucial there. Another interception. Sirwada going to ground right at the right moment, able to disrupt that. Monis comes up with it, and now Sirwada has it again. Sirwada team's leader in tackles per 90 minutes. The acquisition in January via the loan from the Red Bull New York organization. Spent the last 4 years with Red Bull New York 2. He has it now, looking for that quick interchange of play. One back instead, though, by FC Cincinnati 2. Forward they go. There's Chirilla cutting to his right. Stutters, peels it back. It's Stefan Chirilla. Still Chirilla! Magic for the 19-year-old. Stefan Chirilla and FC Cincinnati 2 on the board early, 1-0. Castellanos has challenged Stefan Chirilla. Go grab more goals. They know that he's a pure, proven goal scorer, but they feel like he can reach an extra gear. Over the course of this season, starting to find that third gear, his 8th strike of 2026, and inside 20 minutes, the Garys, a dream start at home. Connecticut United, they find themselves behind the 8 ball on the restart as this boomed forward by the Coy Wolves. It's now the 4th consecutive match that CT United have gone down a goal initially. You juxtapose that against the prior 8-match stretch ahead of these last 4 matches as this clipped in behind. They scored the opening tally 6 times in the prior 8 fixtures. 3 times they struck inside 10 minutes. For FC Cincinnati, too, that does get them off the schneid in the opening 45 against Connecticut United. Coming in their prior 2 fixtures, they had not recorded a single shot on target in either of the first halves. They opened the season with a 3-1 defeat at the hands of Connecticut United, followed that up back in June with the 4-0 defeat, in which Barnabas Tanyi grabbed a brace in that contest. It's still early on, but so far FC Cincinnati, they have limited the amount of touches that Tanyi has been able to have. Coy Wolves losing ground. Rankenberg has to get rid of it and does. Now driven ahead. Morozic playing a bit of a high line. Will let that roll into his possession. Mentioned Barnabas Tanyi so far, just 5 touches. Has yet to record a shot or a shot on target. He has been their talisman this season with 10 goals, 13 involvements. Applying the pressure there, 7 in black and purple was. Sirwada coming out of a crowd with it, directing traffic, has support to his right. It's Van Hees, runs onto it. Unable to get a good enough service off, and FC Cincinnati 2 will breathe another sigh of relief defensively. Those wide channels, something that Connecticut United have had a great deal of success in 2026. They're a top 10 crossing team across all of MLS Next Pro this year. One of the reasons why they love to get in specifically the right-hand side of the attack, that right flank, and just drive those dangerous balls across the face of goal. This portion of the match is brought to you by Mercy Health, official healthcare provider of FC Cincinnati. Lifted along, Applewhite trying to camp underneath it. Crafty slip ahead there from Stefan Chirilla. On the other side of it was Niang. Now Niang have an early ball in the vicinity of Chavez. Out of his reach though. Mosquera hits the switch. Touch forward, top of the area, volleyed across the 18. Boma will knock that one clear. Lacey hounded there by the young Camden Spire, the 17-year-old, making his 11th start. Lacey down behind the play. Salvador Flores electing to play the advantage there for a moment. Closing in on the 25th minute. It's been a solid start here for FC Cincinnati too. Ball work's been crisp. They've controlled the pace of play so far, almost 60% possession, and they have the lead to show for it, courtesy of Stefan Chirilla, his 8th goal of the season. Back ahead to Mosquera. Good passing triangle created there on the near touchline. Knocked out of play by Lucas Camrath, the former High Point Panther and Notre Dame Fighting Irish defender. It'll stay here for a throw in to Daber Mosquera and FC Cincinnati 2. Spire steps in front, intercepts, switches it out wide. Lashar had it for a moment, lost his footing though. Now Monis rolls it ahead. Here's DiPolito. DiPolito, early ball, looking for Kanye, punched away by Morozic. A brave effort there from FC Cincinnati 2's netminder. Had Barnabas Tanye, one of the most dangerous goal scorers in MLS Next Pro, bearing down on him. Still was able to bat that ball away. Patience shown here by FC Cincinnati 2. They go with the short build against that high press of Connecticut United, and now into the attacking half come the Garys. Ramos rolls it through the heart of the defense. Chirilla has one today, lines it up! Oh, what a hit! 2-0. His second brace in the last 5 fixtures. Stefan Chirilla have a day. FC Cincinnati 2, and their leading goal scorer can't stop finding the back of the net. That is a well-hit ball from distance. Nothing Gunther Rankenberg could do about it. Ringing it off the post, and FC Cincinnati in dreamland. FCC2, after each of these goals that have been scored, they run over real quick to their technical area. They grab a quick drink of water. It is a warm day here in Highland Heights, Kentucky. Temperatures hovering near 90 degrees, just about 85 Fahrenheit. There will be hydration breaks in this contest to come. Intercepted here by Mora. Mora shoveled down. A delayed whistle sounds again. Goals 7 minutes apart for Stefan Chirilla, the 18th and the 25th minute to complete a first half brace for the 19-year-old. Meanwhile, for Connecticut United, they do have another attacking half set piece. This one from a much better angle than their sharp angle free kick earlier in the half from the far side. Not exactly the start they were looking for on the road here. Lacey curls this, back stick goes sailing out of play, and no danger presented by that. Coy Wolves embarking on their first road trip in 63 consecutive days. Had a run of 8 straight home matches. Last time they were away from the friendly confines, June 14th. However, they have won 2 of their last 4 away from home outright, points in 3 of their last 4 away from home. A deep hole to dig out of if they want to make that 4 of their last 5. One thing that Sammy Castellanos hit on earlier in the week when reflecting on specifically the most recent matchup between CT United and FC Cincinnati entering this contest, player availability or lack thereof was at the forefront of that conversation. Castellanos said we just didn't have a great performance. We weren't ready for it, but we didn't have some of our crucial guys. A near first choice 11 today when you look at the players available, with Niang, the 2 Chirillas, Adamar Chavez back to full fitness. Here's Niang, we'll clip it over into the path of Chirilla, who already has 2 goals today. Ayub Lashar. Here's Lashar over on the left. Lashar trying to carry it wide, rolls it in front, and Rankenberg hugging that far post, able to cut it out. Heads up play there from Spire. Take that ball away on the drop kick from Rankenberg. Now Spire has it. Top of the area, here's FC Cincinnati 2. Dancing through defenders initially was Daver Mosquera. Dished off quick over to Dylan Lacey. And you see Lacey right there putting his hands up as if to tell his team, slow the tempo just a little bit. FC Cincinnati, one of the areas that they have had success in this opening half hour, they have really sped this game up and forced Connecticut United to play it at the tempo that the Garys want to play at. Sammy Castellanos looking on there at the bottom of your screen. Has to be a happy man. Here's Dylan Lacey. Serwada loaded up from way long range, but his shot was turned aside off the block from Camden Spire.
Is your select team training into where y'all
Mora turns. Elects to give it up to the near side. Applewhite quickly ahead. Lacey, still Lacey now splitting 2. To shovel it off over to Monas. Counter press bears fruit here for CT United initially. Van Hees via Alex Monas. Still Connecticut United. Mora shaking free of 2. Rolled ahead across the face of goal, tapped in! But the offside flag will come up at the last moment. Barnabas Tanyi incensed for CT United. a would-be lifeline not to be had, and to the hydration break we go. Over a half hour gone in this opening half. A look back at it. Keep an eye on Barnabas Tanyi. Just getting in a little too quick past that final defender. Immediately, the assistant referee putting that flag up for offside. A goal chalked off due to the offside flag for CT United. FC Cincinnati, though, they have had no such issues in the goal-scoring department. It all started in the 18th minute. Stefan Chirilla had that ball on a string, sending the fans on their feet here in Highland Heights, and that made it 1-0. He was not done, though. 7 minutes later, as impressive as the first goal was, this one even more so. Stepping into the pocket, smooching it off the post, and deflecting it in past Gunther Rankenberg. FC Cincinnati, too, are flying it home. They have been the better team from the opening whistle. Really imposing themselves on the game. One thing that Sammy Castellanos had said in advance of this match, compete was the biggest word he used in the midweek, in the locker room, in the training sessions. He said, I told our guys, it's another opportunity to go out there, to play our brand of football. He described it as a chance for this team to educate themselves and ultimately become a better version of FC Cincinnati, too. They look the part right now. Meanwhile, Connecticut United, they are desperately trying to find just their first chance of this opening half. They've taken 2 touches in the FC Cincinnati 2 penalty area, but have yet to get a shot on target off of either of those. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allegiant, official airline partner of FC Cincinnati. Here's about the throw in over on this near touchline. The ball pops free. Serwada on it, turns it forward. Here's Monis. Monis over. Wanted Tanyi. The pass was behind Barnabas Tanyi. We're now transitioning back into the attack as FC Cincinnati 2. Chavez just slicing right through defenders, takes a ricochet. Fortuitous bounce back toward the CT United goal for FC Cincinnati. Chego Niang in an offside position. Sammy Castellanos, even though Niang was offside there, he have some good praise for one of his 2 twin strikers in this contest. Chego Niang, the 20-year-old from Senegal, scored the lone goal for FC Cincinnati in that 2-1 loss against Philadelphia Union, but he said he followed that up, and it was so cool to see Niang running around out there, being part of FC Cincinnati at the first team level. Pat Noonan and company just finishing up the Phase 1 of the League's Cup at that first team level. They did things with a loss against Atlas 2-1 at TQL Stadium. Early ball rolled ahead. Keeper comes out. Net is empty. Tanyi on it. Tanyi across goal. Hammered clear by FC Cincinnati 2. And out for a Coy Wolves throw. Perhaps that will be what gives CT United a little bit more juice here down the stretch of this opening half. A good look at goal for Barnabas Tanyi. The service just couldn't find a teammate in time. Funneled back ahead. Applewhite low, drives it in. Backheel toward Tanyi, falls to the spot, whiskers wide of the near post and out. Connecticut starting to grow into this first half. Showing more and more promise these last 3 minutes in the final third. Van Hees, it's one of those situations, just didn't get his hips turned enough toward goal. Ended up pushing that shot just wide, one that he'll undoubtedly want to have back. Now Salvador Flores will whistle to halt play. A little bit of pushing and shoving. Bill and Lacey and Felix Sampson both going in at each other over on this near touchline. Now Salvador Flores will make the motion and send that ball going the other way. Change of possession will occur via this toss back into play. Connecticut United headed back along. Tanyi turns, fires it in behind. Dippolito, space to move. Dippolito, quick service, all the way through. Save made! Off the volley from Van Hees. Rickson Van Hees, the Arizona native. The minutes that he's provided over at that right back spot. Watch on the right side of your screen. Late arriving run, but still getting high into the attack, providing that width for CT United. Van Hees does have an assist this year. Almost had his eyes on his first goal in a CT United shirt. Here is Van Hees now for the Coy Wolves. Just about 6 minutes plus added time to go until we get the halftime whistle from Salvador Flores. Here's Applewhite laterally with it. Dippolito zigzag that ball back over to Barnabas Tanyi, and instead it comes to rest at the feet of Fabian Morozic. Quick whistle there from our man in charge. And quickly restarted by FC Cincinnati too. There's some duress here as FC Cincinnati. Morozic has to peel that away from the pressure. Headed back down by CT United though. Just booted all the way back down. Going all the way back to the beginning of the season. First conversation I had with Shavar Thomas, first-year manager for the CT United side. That press, that counter press, those were things that they established as day one non-negotiables here for Connecticut United. They take away time and space from the opposition, and they have been one of the more aggressive and dangerous pressing teams in the league. Counter-attacking goals, 14 counter-attacking goals. The majority of them have been netted off that high press. Meanwhile, countering is FC Cincinnati too. Stefan Chirilla, options. Chirilla will clip it wide, settle down, back to Spire, now shoveled, it's Niang, flips the shot wide. Go direct again, glancing header along from Tanyi. Recontrolled by FC Cincinnati, and they'll safely guide this back to Morozic. Now Morozic just a few minutes ago made his second save of this opening half. So it's going down 2-0. Coy Wolves have really roared back to life, up to 9 touches, 2 shots on target. Starting to even those possession numbers a little bit. It's a near 50-50 split after large junctures of this opening half. Some one-way traffic in the FC Cincinnati attacking third of things. Offline on the switching ball. Applewhite will come up with it. Sampson tries to touch that one along. Instead, knocked out of play by Robbie Mora. Chirilla curls that all the way out wide. Trying to find Lashar on the overlapping run over on that left and could not. The stakes coming into this contest pretty simple for FC Cincinnati too. You want a shot at the 2026 postseason, you have to pick up a win today and then keep winning. You're going to need help along the way from the rest of the teams in front of you. However, it's not necessarily out of the question. Just ask last year's FC Cincinnati 2 side, who ended up closing the season taking 15 of a possible 30 points over their final 10 matches of the season. Ended up soundly defeating Orlando City B on the road down at Osceola Heritage Park, qualifying on decision day for the 2025 postseason. Trevor Thomas, he can attest to it. He was roaming the touchlines during that day and that season with FC Cincinnati too. Postseason stakes here in this contest. Connecticut United trying to become the first independent team to qualify for the MLS Next Pro playoffs in their inaugural season. Wolves on the outside at the moment looking in of that playoff picture. They are tied points-wise with Atlanta United 2. Each with 34. According to the MLS Next Pro League table on the league's official website, Cincinnati United coming in 9th position. Win today will go a long way toward continuing to bolster their postseason hopes.
Yeah, they're brothers.
They are?
They are brothers.
They look alike.
That's his brother back there, center back.
There's 3 of them?
No, there's 2 of them.
What about the one that's in the FC?
He plays. He plays. Yeah, he'll come up and play with us.
Steered back over to Morozic under pressure.
He'll move up for, I don't know how long.
Cincinnati have to get rid of it quickly. They go up the far touchline.
Yeah, I think he started.
Pushed over, Stefan Chirilla again. Look at how deep he's dropping in. Filling in a real box-to-box role here in this contest. And turning heads with 2 very impressive goals. Meanwhile, 3 minutes of added time, according to 4th official Aaron Fong. Almost a half minute of the 3 has elapsed. Morozic. Again, on danger territory there, was trying to hug that top of the 18.
Mosquera, his brother was with us. And I guess he's still with Wolverhampton. Really.
Lacey directing traffic, opts to take it himself. Now rolled forward to Tanyi. The layoff, then he service across the face of goal. Here's Applewhite, back through, in front, Lacey! Their first goal chalked off due to offside. This one will stay on the board, and a lifeline for the Coy Wolves, 2-1. Just the side-to-side movement here for CT United. FC Cincinnati's undoing. The extra pass, unselfish, played back off to Dylan Lacey, who does not miss from in range. His second goal and now 3 appearances against FC Cincinnati too. And a strong way if you're Connecticut United to cap off what started out as a disastrous first half. And for over these last 20 minutes, really since FC Cincinnati grabbed their second goal, courtesy of that man there, Stefan Chirilla, who will be shown a whistle. Connecticut United have really been the aggressors over these last 20 or so minutes. It's like the old cliche goes. I'm sure anyone listening, or a lot of people listening, might roll their eyes, but 2-0, it is one of the more dangerous leads in the game of football. Mona stepping up, able to knock that ball free. Here's Applewhite looking around the corner on the outside. Closed off expertly by Yair Ramos. And that'll do it for the opening 45 minutes. An action-packed first half in Highland Heights. 3 combined goals and our score at the break, 2-1 FC Cincinnati. Coming up in our halftime show, we look back at the MLS Next All-Star Game, plus the upcoming schedule, first half highlights and more, all when we return. Through 45, FC Cincinnati out in front, 2-1. We head back to Charlotte for a closer look at the MLS Next All-Star Game and Skills Challenge, plus a look at Chattanooga FC taking the interim tag off their manager.
What's going on, on, guys? Cincinnati is here in Charlotte, North Carolina for the big MLS All-Star Game. And as you can see behind me, anticipation's already building. But before we can even talk about the big game, how about we take a look at some of the best moments during MLS All-Star Week, including the MLS Next All-Star Game, which features some of MLS Next Pro's brightest stars.
Things in Charlotte kicked off with the MLS Next All-Star Game, where we got a glimpse of the game's future stars who faced off at Mecklenburg County Sportsplex. A 7-goal thriller that saw Team East take care of business versus Team West with a 6-1 victory. Less than 20 hours after scoring for Crew 2, Columbus Crew's Jamil Danjaji hopped on a flight to Charlotte and found the back of the net again.
Towards goal and through! Jamil Danjaji makes it 2-0 in the blink of an eye.
Nashville SC and Huntsville City forward Liam Stribling also found the back of the net for the East.
Nashville, man. Stribling's got some space here. Stribling puts it through! How good is that?
And Crown Legacy's Daniel Brown would complete the scoring for Team East.
A good punch out. Philo. Oh, distance! Fizzer is through. Brown, the hometown product.
The West would pull one back, but ultimately it wasn't enough to overcome the East.
This is a celebration of all their hard work. So many of these guys not only had great individual seasons, they performed well for their team, but what we're starting to see, which is also so cool, is when we talk about pathway, is these players not only do well for their academy team, but most of them have already started to feature for Next Pro, which is that not only the next step for them in their own development, but it continues that aspiration to get to the highest level.
Obviously, it's a wonderful event. Such a privilege to be chosen for this. It takes years and years of training and experience for any player to get caught up into this. So congratulations to everybody that's got caught into this and everybody's family to experience the welcome of being able to participate in this event.
I mean, it's a learning experience. I'm just happy to be here. I'm gonna keep going, keep training, and keep my head down and be grounded.
Before the game, we also caught up with president of MLS Next Pro, Ali Curtis, who talked about the evolution of the pathway MLS has created.
We've got a great collection of players here today. It's a great evening. It's a great event that we're fortunately able to be supported by our partner in Allstate, and we've got a great number of talented players here. So it's a great addition and a great player development moment.
Just crazy to see how far the league has come. And it's just a beautiful thing, right? Now we have 30 teams, so many more stadiums, new stadiums being built. The academy wasn't around in 2009. Now we have a full-blown academy, and to see the talent that we have here tonight is just spectacular. And so it just tells me that we're all moving in the right direction. We're continuing to move this game forward in this country with the World Cup. Everyone's excited. And now we just have to continue to help encourage and support these kids.
Here at Bank of America Stadium, MLS All-Stars lead Liga MX 3-1 after 45 minutes. A great performance in the first half. And speaking of great performances, some of MLS Next Pro's very best goalkeepers and field players took part in the skills challenge. That includes goalie wars and also the crossbar challenge.
I'm trying to get that assist in. Oh, he's cooking me alive. Those low ones killed me.
Hey, we got the...
Tuesday morning saw the MLS Next Pro players take on actor Danny Ramirez in goalie wars. The Hollywood star even banged this golazo.
Bonus ball! He got the ball!
Later, MLS Next Pro goalkeeper Will Mackey and defending champion Pedro Cruz kicked things off, going head-to-head.
Okay, here we go for two. Can he score? Oh, he does! Pedro Cruz with a clutch effort.
Houston Dynamo's Pedro Cruz would emerge victorious, moving on to the semifinals, where he faced Mexican national team in Pachuca's goalie Carlos Moreno.
Carlos Moreno to win it. Can he do it? Moreno! Get up! Get up! Get up! Take it! Take it! Take it! Oh! Pedro Cruz!
Scores, he wins.
Oh, that's it. That's it. He's done it. Pedro Cruz advances.
Cruz took care of business against Moreno, advancing to the final where he squared off versus World Cup goalkeeper Maxime Crepeau.
Let's go. Come on, Pedro. Let's go. Come on. Game on. Gotta stop him. And Maxime Crepeau is the winner of the All-Star Goalie Wars.
Cruz would come up just short of defending his crown, but would win the admiration of Orlando's Crepeau, who was impressed with what he saw.
It's fun. I talked to him right away. I was like, honestly, if you kept the balls a little bit lower and on the surface, you had me, because he was so powerful that you don't have the chance to get there almost at this distance.
Estoy muy contento. Lo arquero es muy bueno, una persona muy buena. Pude conocer él poquito. Él habló que hoy está yendo bien. Una persona buena y muy bueno. Dividir la cancha con él.
Goalkeepers weren't the only ones in action. The crossbar challenge saw North Texas SC Erunis face off against former MLS Next Pro star Xavier Gozo, taking on some big names like Evander and Javier Ruiz from Club Necaxa.
Representing MLS Next Pro. We see the young superstars emerge to Major League Soccer. North Texas is a great pipeline for FC Dallas.
Let's go, Nice. You're almost there.
There it is. Oh, there it is. For MLS Next Pro. What a story this could be.
Gozo would also make it to the final, but would come up just short versus Ruiz, who would go on to win the competition. An experience that has left a positive mark on both players.
This will be fun to have in your backyard, so I think it was just fun kick around and really enjoyed it.
3 days of MLS All-Star action culminated here at Bank of America Stadium with MLS All-Stars pulling a 4-3 win against Liga MX, a game that saw a handful of MLS Next Pro alumni make their All-Star debut, a major milestone for the league. Signing off from the Queen City, Moises Linares.
Had a meeting with Rich, and I let him know that he was going to be our choice moving forward. So,
thank you guys. First of all, thank you for your commitment to the club, your commitment to each other, and your commitment to just excellence, right? Because that's what we're aiming for, is excellence.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's something that I've been looking forward to ever since I retired, always.
Conversation on him becoming the interim.
Good session. Look after yourselves.
Better together.
We keep rolling here in Highland Heights, Kentucky. Halftime carries forward 2-1. Favor of FC Cincinnati 2. This is not the only action, though, around MLS Next Pro as we get a chance to look at our latest scores from yesterday's batch of matches. And you look in the Eastern Conference, how about Chicago Fire 2? What they've been able to do these last 5 matches. 3 wins, points in 4 of their last 5. And all of a sudden, Mike Makovich's team in the playoff picture, occupying the 6th position. They've scored 16 goals in their last 4 matches combined, including 7 against this FC Cincinnati 2-side 3 matches ago, who will be back in action on Wednesday on the road against NYC FC. It'll be a fantastic contest there on that Wednesday night. The Tuesday matchup with the Golden Boot leader Arif Kovac as well for Atlanta United. As for our contest, let's get you up to speed with our halftime highlights. A lot of goals, 3 to be exact, in the opening 45, and it started in the 18th minute. Stefan Chirilla just yo-yoing that ball around and tucking it in, picking out the far corner. That made it 1-0. Stefan Chirilla, though, his day wasn't quite done yet. 7 minutes later, FC Cincinnati would come back down. They would feed their leading goal scorer, who would add to his tally. A rocket from range, and find that near post to bang it in. Made it 2-0. Connecticut United would then start to grow into the first half, and just before the expiration of the opening 45 minutes. They loft that ball near side, now back wide, put in front. Dylan Lacey is there, his 6th goal of the year. It gave CT United a lifeline, and that is where we stand through one half of play. We'll go back to break. Stay with us. The opening kick of the second half when we return.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Yeah. Boys hear sentiment. Flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best. Can rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions. Trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next. Just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now. Oh yes. Man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now.
The unique energy of a Sunday night. Ideal for calm music, whispers, stargazing, reflection, and a relaxed environment. Sunday nights were made for this.
Approaching the opening kick of the second half between FC Cincinnati and Connecticut United. A one-goal contest through one half of play. Gary's out in front after 2 goals in the opening half from Stefan Chirilla. Meanwhile, Dylan Lacey grabbing his 6th goal of the season, 2nd against FC Cincinnati too. Both teams are out of the halftime dressing room. Salvador Flores, our center referee, has everyone just about set to go. Third and final meeting of 2026 between CT United and FC Cincinnati has not disappointed to this point. And as of just about 2 minutes ago, this is also no longer the only match underway in the Eastern Conference. Our second batch of contests here on this jam-packed Sunday has just kicked off. Huntsville, Inter Miami, New England, and Philadelphia. There is the whistle, Salvador Flores, and we are officially back underway. Final 45 minutes. 3 points potentially hanging in the balance here between the Coy Wolves and the Garys. Quick start here out of the gates. Clipped, back post, goes sailing over the bar. It is a triple change for Shavar Thomas, making his first 3 substitutions of the evening. Ernesto Gomez on. Brian Destin, the former Inter Miami 2-man, will come on. And as Michael Boma goes off, Javar Stevenson will trot onto the pitch. Dylan Lacey, the lone goal scorer in the opening half of play for CT United. He comes off as part of that triple change, so they'll have to find another answer for offense, the Coy Wolves will, if they want to get back level. Feed Shewu Niang, Ernesto Gomez will come up with it. Gomez, not that far removed from a call-up to the Panama U20 national team for the 2026 CONCACAF U20 championships. I think Felix Sampson for FC Cincinnati, he shares in, was called up to the Canadian U20 side. CONCACAF U20 championships just wrapping up. A lot of MLS Next Pro faces around a lot of those international teams, including for the US U19s. Players like Ruben Ramos Jr. for LA Galaxy, Josh Torquato for FC Dallas. Toss back in, Serwada will volley it out wide. The United States finishing as runners-up in that CONCACAF U20 championships. Mexico claiming the ultimate prize. Monas dispossessed. One back though. Serwada will roll it through. Here's Monas, puts it in front, clipped over the bar by Tanyi. It did take a deflection though on its way through toward goal, so it'll stay here. A corner won by CT United. That's the third time that Barnabas Tanyi has had a prime look at goal. You can see some of that frustration starting to mount each time that ball doesn't go in the back of the net. But CT United continuing where they left off at the end of the opening 45 minutes. Monas swings this ball, and the heads go up, and pops into the hands of Fabian Morozic. As for FC Cincinnati, too, it is an unchanged FC Cincinnati side entering this second 45 minutes. Lashar dancing through two. Now Andre Chirilla will cut it back over to Morozic. Spire going to knock it free, now turning it upfield. They wanted Niang, headed away from Shewu Niang. Too heavy of a touch there from Lashar, but it does carry him back to FC Cincinnati 2. And the possession lives. Stevan Chirilla with 2. What a brilliant interchange. Lashar, the service, catches the head of Niang, but headed out of play. That's one of the benefits of having a 6'6" center striker, Shewu Niang. Almost every header becomes a free header. Just couldn't put it on the target though. Back the other way comes Connecticut United. Gomez able to duck under 2. Early ball forward. Here's Barnabas Tanyi. The flag will come up at the last minute. The Wolves did feel a little hard done there in those late stages of the opening half. Had a goal erased due to the offside flag. Mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. One of the easiest ways to take the wind out of the sails of a direct ball team like the CT United side is drop that line, drop your center backs deeper. And one of the byproducts of that is then that restraining line drops back as well. And Connecticut United have been caught in an offside position a handful of times in this contest. They will get a throw in though out of that errant clearance. Stevenson switches it over. Here's Van Hees, touches toward goal, batted down. Monas with it momentarily. Pressure kept on here by Applewhite. Monas trying to back his defender down. He'll earn a whistle. Serwada wanted to move quickly. And meanwhile, Salvador Flores had other ideas. Stefan Chirilla pleading his case. Keep an eye right in the center of your screen here. As that foul shown to Yair Ramos on FC Cincinnati too. It is an important reminder of the only the captain rule in MLS Next Pro, that only those wearing the captain's armband can confer with the officials during those key moments like fouls, like cards, which is why you saw Stefan Chirilla donning the captain's armband today over there having a word with Salvador Flores, who, speaking of cards, has only handed out one yellow card so far. Meanwhile, Connecticut United, an excellent opportunity to get back on level footing here. The angle straight on. This struck from distance right at Morozic, who bats it down. It was Brian Destin with the head. Destin spent 3 years at Inter Miami 2. That rolled back over to Morozic. 36 appearances, 4 goals. The Haitian making just his second appearance since coming over to Connecticut United. Ramos clattered into behind things. Flores was going to let it play out momentarily, but now does sound the whistle. And Yair Ramos, just his 10th appearance of the season for FC Cincinnati too. Slow to get back to his feet. Slipped over. Lashar on the left. Didn't like his options. Instead, gives it back over to Ramos. Now, Andre Chirilla will work that all the way across. Floated in behind. They wanted Niang again. Fell back to Spire. Ramos will keep it on. Spire connecting with Chirilla, who rolls it through to that end line. Thought he had David Mosquera on the overlap. And just at the end of all of that, a little shove. And the Connecticut United defender is down, slow to get back to his feet. At least initially, that appears to be Andre Applewhite. To be helped back up by Lucas Camrath. Connecticut United, the team who scored the most recent goal. That came back in first half stoppage time. They've had a couple good looks early on in this second half, as that will go rolling across that far touchline. One thing that has made life a little harder for CT United is that FC Cincinnati, when off the ball, out of possession, they have been able to keep those lines compact. One of the strengths of the 4-4-2 shape that Sammy Castellanos coming out in today is that you do get those 2 lines of 4, which form that tight defensive block when out of possession. One thing that Lucas Camrath had talked about with me earlier in the week is he'll cut this back over to Gunther Rankenberg. Is these center backs for CT United, be it Lucas Camrath, Michael Boma, they do have somewhat of an uncanny ability to step forward, advance that ball up, then hit a booming direct ball or a switching ball. You saw it against New England Revolution. Just 1 minute into the second half, it's Camrath stepping up, advancing that ball to the halfway line, and then firing it forward. Ultimately, Calapaisho grabbing the goal in the 46th minute. Stefan Chirilla knocked down. This will be a quick whistle and a foul, which sets FC Cincinnati up with a free kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by Ball and Gainer, official wealth management partner of FC Cincinnati. FC Cincinnati 2, their first attacking half free kick of the second 45 minutes. They've scored twice off free kicks in 2026. Connecticut United, they make a real point. They take pride in defending their set pieces. They've allowed the 9th fewest set piece goals. Only twice over the last 11 matches have they conceded off a set piece, one of those being a free kick against Toronto FC. Quickly taken by Lashar, who lofts it along. Ricocheted out wide. Ramos dispossessed. Running ahead was Tanya. Couldn't slip it to a late arriving teammate in Ernesto Gomez. And as we come up near the 60th minute, FC Cincinnati and Fabian Morozek will build things out from the back. A near giveaway by the Garys, and now pressured into a turnover. They'll just lump that out of play. It's one of the things that the CT United press does so well. Even if they don't come up with the ball in a counter-attacking situation, they do force these turnovers. Quickly switched over. Van Hees, across goal, nodded away. Falls back to Sirwada off the half volley. Almost just misread that. Meanwhile, Monis rolls it right back at the feet of Stefan Chirilla, and it is hammered clear by FC Cincinnati 2. Since the clock rolled over to the second half, Connecticut United, they have been asking the question so far, looking for an answer that would level this contest. 2 shots, both on target. They have just about 42% possession. Through the half space, looking for Chirilla once more. And now Stefan Chirilla slow to get back to his feet. A quick whistle drawn. Play restarted as it's flicked on and ahead. Mosquera trying to tuck the shoulder, ends up being impeded, and this will be just our second yellow handed out this evening. Over on that far side of things, it was David Mosquera just trying to get past Andre Applewhite. Sets FC Cincinnati up with yet another free kick here. Just about 3 minutes ago, they had a free kick from about this same distance, but on the near side of the pitch. It'll be Chirilla alone to take. Chirilla floats this back in, headed toward goal, but wide and out. Now the substitution window is open for FC Cincinnati 2, who will make their first change of the evening. Andre Chirilla, after an hour logged, will come off and get a deserved ovation from these fans. A nod from his manager. On comes Sammy Lachikar to spell him, the former UNC Greensboro defender. First change of the night for FC Cincinnati 2. Gomez will come up with it. That has been somewhat of the story, though, for the CT United side. When transitioning into the attack, they could stand to take maybe one more touch, lay off that ball for just a second longer before they go forward with it. At times, not necessarily allowing those options to develop properly before going ahead. Kemrath wasn't a fan of the options he had going ahead. And now he will go forward with this one. Morozic will let it take a bounce and a few more bounces before corralling that ball in. Ramos shrugs off one would-be challenge. Ball rolled ahead. Niang trying to hold things up. And this will be another yellow that will be plucked out of the pocket of our center referee. And it is shown to Javar Stevenson, the man who was part of that triple change at the start of the second half. 2 yellows handed out to 2 important defenders over the last 5 minutes for CT United. And with just 2 changes remaining for Shavar Thomas and company, might have to start thinking about using one of those for one of your 2 backs. Meanwhile, it sets FC Cincinnati up with a free kick. Chirilla drives it out wide, headed back along. Still Chavez. Trying to shake free of Ernesto Gomez, snugging that far stripe. He wins a throw in out of it. Anamar Chavez, such an important part of the future of this FC Cincinnati organization. The homegrown signing. Tossed back into play over on that far touchline. Booted forward. An empty possession there for FC Cincinnati too. This portion of the match is brought to you by Skyline Chili, official partner of FC Cincinnati. Mosquera finds Spire, pulls that ball out and resets. Quickly slipped ahead to Ramos from Chirilla, now rolled forward. Niang thought he was in, but the offside flag will come up. The 2 dual strikers used today in this 4-4-2 approach for Sammy Castellanos and FC Cincinnati. It's been Stefan Chirilla doing all the damage with both of FC Cincinnati's goals, but that man Shewo Niang's been crucial as well. His hold-up play's been good. Meanwhile, it's Chirilla dispossessed. That hold-up play of Niang does add such an extra wrinkle to this attack for FC Cincinnati too. Even though that ball was cleared away just moments ago by CT United. You saw it develop, had his back to goal, let those passing lanes open up around him. Here he does it again. This time it's the short layoff over to Yair Ramos, who gives it up out wide. Going 1-2 back to Ramos. Sorwada was ready for it. Lost a shin pad for his defensive efforts. And now driving through bodies. It was David Mosquera who lost his footing. No whistle, and play will continue on. Glancing header along. Keeper comes out. Morozic trips up Monis, and we get a whistle here. Well, first, Salvador Flores will give Fabian Morozic a hand back to his feet. and then hands a yellow card out to him for that foul right there. Off the glancing header from Barnabas Tanyi, in on goal was Alex Monis. What an excellent run from CT United's captain. He will walk up to the spot and a chance to put this contest on level terms. Monis has 7 goals this season since coming over from New England Revolution a year ago, where he spent time. In his career, he has scored 4 penalty goals, including 3 this season. It's Monis makes it 4 goals from the spot, and we are even at 2 apiece. No nonsense from the penalty marker for Alex Monis, the captain. His 5th career penalty goal. He has said from the jump since joining this CT United side that he tries to set the tone for this team. He takes the captaincy responsibilities very seriously, wants to lead by example. Led by example by drawing the foul that set the penalty up and slotting it past Fabian Morozek, who did guess right, but not in time to parry that ball away. CT United as a club this year, now 5 for 6 from the spot. Camden Spire turns it over. Monis to Gomez. Settled by DiPolito. Serwada quickly over, back to Gomez, now back to Serwada, turned over, and breaking out here. Gary's have the numbers if they move quickly. Chirilla back across. Here's Spire blocked. Falls back to Spire, flicked on. There's no teeth behind that, as Rankenberg will pull it down. It was excellent initially. Quickly moving in transition off the turnover. But at the end of it, comes to rest in the midst of Gunther Rankenberg. Rankenberg, 3 saves this season and 2 combined appearances against FC Cincinnati. All 3 of those stops coming in one match as we come up on the 70th minute now. First, it was FC Cincinnati's turn to score 2 unanswered. Now it's Connecticut United, who have scored 2 with no response. It'll stay on this end. Connecticut United will have a corner. This portion of the match is brought to you by Ohio Cat, official partner of FC Cincinnati. Alex Monis to trigger this in. Just grabbed the equalizing goal from the spot. Monis, in swinging ball, headed down. Serwada puts it back in, falls over to Monis, clipped wide of the net. Morozek will just let it spill out of play. Second half has been a lot of one-way traffic on this end of things. CT United pulling the strings, and they get a whistle as Ernesto Gomez taken down. Acquired at the beginning of the year from Universitario, was brought over on a loan. been quite the productive player. The teenage center mid, number 11 there, standing next to Salvador Flores. Coy Wolves captain Alex Monas shadows over this ball. Monas drives it toward Morozic, bobbled initially. There's a lot of traffic in front of FC Cincinnati's netminder, and Morozic going down. There was another player down in the melee of all of that for FC Cincinnati too. Coy Wolves electing to make a change. Laurie Goddard will come on. That is the 4th substitution used by Shavar Thomas. 1 remaining as Daniel DiPolito will come off. On that far flank was FC Cincinnati. Locked down, though, by the Coy Wolves. Now Camrath back he goes to Rankenberg. Pressure applied. Rankenberg got rid of it quickly. Here's Laurie Goddard. Goddard, the former Hofstra standout, spent some time as well at Merrimack before embarking on a pro career here with CT United. Steven Serwada shouldered down. The first almost half hour, it was FC Cincinnati dictating the tenor of the contest to CT United, making them play a little faster than perhaps they wanted. Advantage quickly played. Now this floated back in. Destin has no options but to just let it roll and sail over his head. Specifically, though, in the second half, you're seeing Connecticut United, they have slowed this contest down. They are getting more direct and having more success playing direct, and it has started to unlock things offensively. More changes being made. This time it's FC Cincinnati bringing Charlie Holmes on. For Seattle Sounders Academy man, the 22-year-old will charge on to spell Daver Mosquera, second change of the night, used by Sammy Castellanos. Whipped back down by Camrath. Now Destin cuts inside! Off the bench and on the score sheet, Ryan Destin, 3 unanswered for CT United.
Michael, watch it. You show Michael. Look. See, it's wider than light.
Just a ball whipped ahead by Lucas Camrath. Route 1 football coming up crucial for the Coy Wolves. They didn't have the start they were necessarily looking for. Had to dig themselves out of a 2-0 hole. But now 3 consecutive goals heading into the hydration break for Connecticut United, who are in charge on the road. What a turnaround for CT United. They have completely flipped the script on FC Cincinnati too. Here's how we got to this point. Go all the way back to the 18th minute. Stefan Chirilla, magic on the ball. And this initially looked like it was going to set the tone. That made it 1-0. Chirilla, 7 minutes later, he'd bag a brace from distance, hammering it in. Looked like FC Cincinnati might run away with it, but not so fast. CT United, they wouldn't be silenced for long, had a goal chalked off due to offside. They didn't give up, came right back down in first half stoppage time. Zigging and zagging, laying it off, finding Dylan Lacey. That's when the comeback began. A lifeline in the truest sense of the word for Dylan Lacey and Connecticut United. In the second half, they'd whip it ahead. Alex Modis would draw a penalty. He would then walk over to the penalty spot and convert, putting the contest on level terms, doing so in the 68th minute. And then, just a handful of minutes later, Brian Destin, he scored the goal to put CT United ahead, and at the restart, that is where they stand. FC Cincinnati looking to remedy that. Knocked out of play, it will be a corner, and a strong response, good burst of energy to win a set piece if you're Sammy Castellanos' side. Only twice this season have the Garys struck gold off a corner. Audemars Chavez will send this in. Chavez rolls it back into play via the short option. Whipped ahead from distance. There's nothing doing there for FC Cincinnati. Spire, though, steps in front of the clearance. Spire floats it wide and offline.
It's just mindless scroll.
That break and play, Connecticut United electing to make their final change of the evening. The former Pittsburgh Riverhounds Academy midfielder Warren Agostini will come on in place of Steven Serwata. Shamar Thomas' side are out of changes. Here's Lashar. Will drive it ahead. Niang catching up to it. No. Javar Stevenson. Go the other way.
I was checking Chipotle because I thought I was
Elsewhere around the Eastern Conference, Philadelphia Union. They jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the 11th minute. They lead 2-0, almost halftime between Union 2 and New England Revolution 2. New England needing a win to try to leapfrog Chattanooga FC. Right now just 2 points back of the pace of the boys in blue, Chattanooga FC, who we heard from their new permanent manager, Richard Dixon, during our halftime report. Started the year as the interim boss. They played so well, unbeaten in 11, that they have given him the full-time keys. Spire quickly connects with Stefan Chirilla. Options around, lifted in, Niang, the header off the woodwork. Still not clear, second effort. Love to open the bar. It stays here, inside 10 to go, and a corner for FC Cincinnati. Initially, Shewu Niang smooching it off the crossbar with the header. He's had a couple good looks at goal off those services in, just has not been able to coat himself in glory. We're in from the near stick, punched away by Rankenberg, has support there. Monis dragged from behind, and that is a professional foul taken by the 17-year-old Camden Spire. You don't necessarily want your players to start piling up yellow cards, but if you're Sammy Castellanos, you're not going to necessarily rather be mad at that one. Alex Monis could have been off to the races had Spire not stepped in front, and he will join a growing list of players in the book of Salvador Flores. Spire, such a great story. Grew up rooting for FC Cincinnati when they were a USL club. They were awarded an MLS expansion bid. He was one of the first players scouted by the Discovery program back in 2020. Now plying his craft at the professional ranks for his hometown club. Cincinnati have not been able to replicate the success they had in the first half here in this second 45 minutes. Lashar will chuck it back into play. Lacey, Monis, Destin in that order, 45 plus 2, 68 from the penalty spot and 75 on a counter. Those are the difference makers right now for CT United. Looking for their third outright away victory in the last 5 away matches. Despite going down 2-0, trying to salt away these final 7 minutes and change. Should this result hold for CT United, not only would it give them win number 11 on the year, get them back in the win column after their loss last match week, but it would also put them at 37 points, which at least for today would be enough to leapfrog them all the way into 6th position in the Eastern Conference table. It's a strong position to be in heading into match week 25, with just 5 weeks remaining in the season. Trying to play that in behind was Chavez, looking for Niang, knocked out of play, and it is another corner won by FC Cincinnati 2 in this second half, the third of the final 45. Chirilla floats this back post, met by the head of Lucas Camrath and CT United, rather Laurie Goddard. Throw taken quickly. Cross blocked out off the back of Barnabas Tanyi. Second bite of the apple goes sailing in the mixer. Clearance is flubbed there by Applewhite. And here's Niang. What you like around all that pressure? They recycle this ball. 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Lashar cuts inside. Now turning. Ayub Lashar finding Stefan Chirilla. Chirilla drives this wide. It's headed down. Reached Shewu Niang. Breaking out, or at least attempting to, is CT United. Goddard lost his footing. Appeals for a foul go unanswered. Jair Ramos in his 3rd season with FC Cincinnati 2. Gets that cycle going, finally works its way over on the right flank. Audemars Chavez carving things open. Chavez forward, intercepted, and fired clear by CT United. Morozic trying to do his best efforts at tossing that in. And Salvador Flores continuing to back this throw in up. Headed down and now flicked forward into the path of Stefan Chirilla ahead for FC Cincinnati 2. Chirilla has 2 today. 1v1 with Van Hees. In support is Monis. Chirilla dispossessed and now commits the foul at the end of it. And you see the frustration written on the face of the FC Cincinnati homegrown. Gary's will make 2 more changes. Matias Vasquez, who came over at the start of the year on the loan from Montagua of the Honduran First Division, is on. Nathan Gray also comes on. Chavez and Niang will exit. So 1 more change to make for Sammy Castellanos before the expiration of this contest. Pushing the tempo forward here, at least initially, was FC Cincinnati 2. Foot race 1. And cut back over to Gunther Rankenberg, who clears it out of play. Home side backing up for this long throw in toward the final third. Coming up on the final minute plus stoppage time. Tossed all the way ahead, headed away, and forward to Barnabas Tanyi. Press bears fruit, though, for FC Cincinnati, too. They come up with a turnover high up the pitch. Funneled over, here's Lachikar, the Frenchman. On the half turn, Nathan Gray had it for a moment, driven back down. Morozic playing a really high line there, resetting things. Lashar now back inside. There's Gray. Defender going to ground. Still controlled here by Nathan Gray. Former Charlotte Independence man of USL League One. Ramos looking wide in that left flank for Ayub Lashar. The telegraphed, Monis couldn't clear it away. Fourth official shows 4 minutes of added time. Early ball ahead, not it wide. It won't matter though, the flag is up over on the far corner of the frame.
That would be cool to see.
See that final defender there, just in early, was FC Cincinnati 2. The reaction from Sammy Castellanos at the bottom of the screen says it all. Almost 1 full minute of the 4 allotted for stoppage time elapsed. FC Cincinnati 2 side, it's been a bit of a tough go of it this year. Just 4 wins, they come in having dropped back-to-back contests. It's floated ahead on the restart. They find Tanyi, who heads for the far corner. Tanyi able to tuck that one back in. No one in support, though, for CT United. The second half for this FC Cincinnati 2 side has been the biggest bitter pill to swallow today, conceding 3 unanswered goals, 2 here in the second 45. Tanyi pinned along that end line. It will pop out of play. And FC Cincinnati will be the beneficiaries. One back, though, by CT United. Now tucked in. Here's Goddard out wide. Takes a deflection on its way out of play. And it's CT United tilting the field in their favor. A late corner for the Coy Wolves. Ryan Destin, the hero, puts it back into play short. Turned over, though, by CT United. Lashar tries to swing that one out wide. This hit worked back down, touched over by Goddard. One back, though, by FC Cincinnati, 2. 60 seconds until the full-time whistle. Dragged down is Nathan Gray, and this will be a yellow shown to Alex Monis. Ayub Lashar waving everyone forward. He will take this from near the center stripe. Lashar into the chaos in front of Rankenberg, who makes the grab, falling down to the field turf. Rankenberg trying to find that clearance, could not. One last push here for FC Cincinnati 2. It's Spire with it, trying for the interchange. Cleared out, swept away. It'll be an FC Cincinnati throw. They'll have one last go at this across the 4th minute of stoppage time. Back over. They go to the end line, running out of room, and it's a goal kick awarded. Connecticut United side, their manager, Shavar Thomas, the manager of the month in MLS Next Pro. They went 4 up, 4 down in the month of July. Start August off on the same footing, but now back in the win column is Connecticut United. And at least for tonight, in 6th position in the Eastern Conference table are the Coy Wolves. A come from behind effort for Connecticut, all made possible by tonight's man of the match, presented by Adidas. Well, you'll always remember your first, as they say. Slipped ahead to Brian Destin, opening his Connecticut account in dramatic fashion. A match-winning goal in the 75th minute for the former Inter Miami man. Brian Destin is your man of the match, and Connecticut United are riding high heading in to the final 5 weeks of the season. They get the win, 3-2 over FC Cincinnati 2. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLSNextPro.com and OneFootball. For Justin Cohen and the rest of our broadcast team, I'm Jake Griffith. Thanks for joining us. Good night from Highland Heights.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.